Hello campers! Alright, now after fully smoothing out the firewall and inside of the fenders, and there's the firewall, using it to me a putty, now time to start taking some measurements for the smoothing the firewall out really nicely. Now to get my first measurements, I will take my machinist ruler just to get as close as possible to start off with for this measurements. Now, after I've taken these basic measurements, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the my Sharpie fine line. I'm going to transfer them to this sheet of 0.10 styrene, so I can use that for the smoothing process. I have found that using millimeters is a much closer way to getting as close as you can to this, and that's the honest to God truth. These measurements here are just giving me a rough idea on the length and depth of this panel. Okay, after we get the basic, length measurements on there, I'm going to use my digital caliper because being that slightly angled, I want to make sure that, I get that bottom part of that angle. You just can't cut a rectangle and put it in there. Now, here is where we get the precise panel. I'm going to take this 3/4 inch masking tape. This is 3M tape. It's best out there in the market when you come to masking tape. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take and put it over the firewall, and then I will take a razor and I will go ahead and trim it to size, which you're going to see here shortly. make sure when you put your masking tape on that you get down in there to, the corners and the edges. I mean, it's got to be precise. Otherwise, your smoothing panel is going to look like garbage. I mean garbage. That's why here I'm taking the edge of that machinist roller and pushing down there real nice and tight. Even though the 3/4 inch wasn't quite long enough, it doesn't really matter because I'm not going to use the tape for the full measurement. So I grab a blade, which didn't even think about it. This is the old blade from my knife. I only used it one time, and it was so dull, I couldn't even cut the tape with it. But it did help me get it pressed down in the corner even better. You can see that hobby blade from the original knife there did not cut very well. So I had already installed a brand new blade into my Hobby Lobby knife. What I'm going to do right here is I'm using it to go ahead and I'm going to do my final cuts on that panel template so I can go ahead and put it in, onto my measurements I got. Honestly, I thought that I had the camera placed in correct position. I didn't. I'm sorry, once again. But I'm working on it. Trust me, I'm working on it. I'll get much better as this goes along. Now you can see there was the rough measurements I took. So now what I'm doing is I'm laying down the template right along that top line, going right to the edge of that other mark there. You can see where my fingers are holding the tape, and boom, look at that. Comes out almost absolutely perfect. But this is why you use masking tape as a template. It will make sure it is absolutely perfect. Now take there and I'm going to score just a little bit with the knife. I trimmed a little bit of tape off because it's a little bit rough. But I'm going to take the knife now. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to score that one line here. It didn't score as good because my hands aren't as steady as what it used to be. So what I'm using instead is these scissors, which are very sharp. They're almost brand new. And the styrene is so thin, you can see I was bending there, that it will cut through it. I mean, like cutting through a sheet of paper, to be honest with you. After removing it, I take and make sure I check and see if it's going to fit right. And believe it or not, luckily it did. And I mean luckily, because sometimes you end up with just like a little edge doesn't fit right. So, holding it in place, I'm going to now take my Sharpie there, and I'm going to mark from the inside of the body where the transmission tunnel is, so I can go ahead and cut it out now. Once again, the scissors are going to work perfectly for what I want to do. Like I say, these are very sharp, and I'm going to take and go right along this curve, cut it out real slow, real easy. That way I'll get a nice shot on that transfer. Yes, I'm a dummy. I'm looking at it, fitting it, kind of off the edge of the camera there. I thought I was in view. I wasn't, but it did turn out really, really nice. I mean, it really did. You can see it right there. It's almost absolutely perfect. A little trimming and it'll be ready. All right, that's it for this episode. Thank you all for watching. Please like, please share, please subscribe, and don't forget to comment and ring that bell. Thank you, thank you.